I'm sure it's probably way too late for anybody to actually be out here, so this is going to be interesting test just for myself, all by myself, because I ain't got nobody in my chat thing. Let's see here. Ooh, all kinds of alerts here. Google's telling me that OBS wants to get a hold of all my stuff. Yeah, it was me. Yeah. It was me too. Oh, check activity. Nope, don't need to do that. Alright, what else do we got here? Yeah, that was me too. All good. All good. Alright, so let's see if this actually flips over. Oh, yes it does. Look at that. I can play around with some Photo Lab and actually have that show up on the screen live. This is actually going to be a great addition in regards to continuing to do the live series, do some editing. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun times. Why am I all crooked? Yeah, this is my work uniform. What I wear. I know it's red. It is what it is. It's my actual uniform for where I work. You know, work in the evening shifts. It's always fun times. Okay. Oh yeah, here's the class that I took. Was this today? Man, I don't even remember if this was today. Hey, what's up, William? Man, I'm surprised somebody's even awake. You never know, you never know. There we are. Here I is. I am actually here. Just playing around with switching things back and forth in OBS Studio. I'm contemplating on doing editing live thing where I go through some photos that I've taken and whatnot. So that'll be interesting addition to the channel. So just testing things out, see how it is, see how it goes, kind of thing, you know. If anyone's out there, what do you think? What do you think? Yeah, bit of black, so maybe a little bit of clear view. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Actually, I want to bring that down a bit here. Where's the clear view plus? Why can't I? There we go. Change that. Bring it down a bit. Make it look a little bit nicer. Yeah, it still has a bit more detail. Oh yeah, a bit more detail. Looks pretty good. I'd be happy with that. Minimal software processing. I guess I could fix the horizon slightly, but this is how the bird actually was. Oh, you work nights too, eh? Oh man, I'm not the only one. Whew. You know, it's tough too. You know, like being a photographer and actually, you know, wanting to capture things during the day, but then you have to work nights, and oh man, you know, it's aggravating. And then I don't know what it is, but it seems like when you work nights, you're too tired because it's night. Like you get none of that sun energy, you know what I mean? So when you're done work, you're just all groggy. You just want to get home, you know. Because I keep saying to myself, I gotta go out and actually do a lot of night photos when I'm on my way home, but I'm just drained by the time I leave. So it looks good, eh? Let's see, what else do I have here? Yeah, I already did that one. Okay, that's pretty much the same. Yeah, a lot of people like this one with the whole cloud. So yeah, this was the before I edited it, and then this was the after. Pretty big difference. I mean, you can see there's a lot of haze in here. So yeah, I used just standard 50% clear view, and yeah, you know what? I think this actually works. I'm going to definitely be doing some editing things, do it live. I think that'd be an interesting addition to the channel, something I haven't done yet. Oh yeah, and this was common merganser something or other. Yeah, this I had to really lift the shadows and the blacks. Actually, no, yeah, just slight bit on the blacks, but really had to lift the shadows. But that glow right on his nostril is crazy. That's crazy. Like you can even see it on the original shot too. But yeah, yeah, these are all done with the 150/450. But yeah, the amount of detail that lens picks out is just whew, wow, wow. I'm impressed. Hey, Ofer Hadas from Israel. Israel. You know, gotta say it right. Israel. At least I hope that's right. That's what I've been told before. And why is my camera not focusing properly? Come on now. That's better. I know it's Israel. I know. Israel, Israel. You know, if you say it with the accent. You know, like having, you know, challah, bread, things like that. Glabrasser. How's it going? Yeah, guys, so if you're just joining, this is just going to be a short thing. I just wanted to test this out. I'm using OBS Studio now, so I wanted to actually see how moving back and forth between, you know, seeing myself, you know, with my wonderful mug, and actually going into showing my screen so I can incorporate some, like, editing live things and, you know, actually I guess it would also be a better way for me to walk you guys through, you know, like certain aspects in regards to the shots that I've taken and why I shot certain things the way it did, or sorry, the way I did. Like this one here, I had exposure compensation. I had exposure compensation on. I'm just laughing at Glabrasser's crazy face. Yeah, so anyway, I had exposure compensation at I think it was plus one EV. It may have been plus two, and then I completely forgot that it was on, and then I shifted from shooting things like this one, right, just to compensate for the snow, and then I turned, and the sun was beating down on this guy, so yeah, it kind of blew it out a little bit. So gotta drop that one down. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Get some feather detail in there, tad bit, little bit. Maybe this one actually could use a slight bit of clear view. No, yeah, maybe just a tad. Just a tad, just to bring out a little bit extra detail along here and along the back here. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think that looks good. The 150/450. Oh man. Okay, so with the 150/450, okay, how can I explain this? For a 450 millimeter lens, I mean, it is fairly compact. However, it does weigh a good amount. It doesn't sound like it weighs a whole lot on paper, but when you're actually walking around carrying it with you, you know, because you can't hold it from the camera body, right? Just because of the weight of the lens, you don't want to damage the lens mount. So you need to hold it from the tripod collar, you know, at the tripod foot. You know, as long as you're not walking around constantly being ready all the time, because it will start to weigh down on your wrist and your arm. You know, I usually just hold the camera upside down. Don't ask. I just don't want to flip the tripod collar around. You know, but just walk around with it that way, with your arm down. It's not that bad when you're raising it back up just to shoot. You know, in regards to the image quality, for these shots, I mean, I tried everything. You know, just quickly show here. So basically what I was doing was I was shooting in soft light. This is the before and this is after I edited. So I was just shooting in soft light. That was the first one. And then there's this one here where I was shooting in soft light as well. And then I decided that I was going to shoot in, you know, slightly brighter light. and then even brighter. Right, but I mean, the amount of detail the lens picks up is pretty remarkable. I mean, if you look carefully, you can see the pupil of the goose's eye. And here is the actual shot. So, I mean, that's how much little tiny finite details that lens actually does pick up. And then I was shooting in like super strong light. And actually, okay, that looks, I think that's a bit blurred actually. Okay, no, that actually looks okay. And again, just that area right on the eye there, yeah, it's I'm impressed with the lens so far. I'm very happy. And then I was doing some backlit shots here, like completely backlit, and the lens was actually able to pick up the water droplets on the goose's feet. Right, like all these little droplets in the air. That's how much micro contrast. It just, the amount of definition this lens can actually pick up, all these little tiny details. It's, yeah. I'm very impressed with the lens. Very, very impressed. I'm happy. Let's see, what shot was this? This was, okay, yeah, and then this was back to more, just medium light. And remember, this is non-edited, and this is, well, I was in the middle of editing this one, and then I kind of changed my mind, but I think I brought the highlights down a bit too much on that one. There we go. No, I don't think it's the ISO. What ISO was this? Okay, this is ISO 1600. Yeah, this was actually a bit stronger light. That's why I brought it down. I remember now. Just to try to get some detail here. Just testing to see what the limitations are. Let's see. No, I think it's too blown out. I could drop the exposure down, but I don't think that's going to make any difference. Nah, right along the ring, along the nape of the neck here, it's gone. Let's see, what else do I have here? What other things did I shoot today? I didn't really do a whole lot of shooting. I was sort of just passing the time before I had to take off and go to work. What ISO was this? This was ISO 400. Actually, this one's kind of funny. Just as I was taking the shot, bam! He was like, "What are you doing?" Totally unexpected. Little bit. Okay, that looks better. Yeah, he didn't look too happy. He's like, "What are you doing, man? Why are you taking shots of me? That's not cool. Go away. I'm just trying to hang out, dude." But yeah, I mean, overall, the 150-450 is a really good lens. If you can handle the weight, that's the only thing. But performance-wise, I can see why so many people who have used it and own it always talk about it. It really is that good. So this was, what is this? Was ISO 100. So this was the original shot. And then this is after some editing. Drop the highlights down a bit just for the back of the goose here. And still maintain some of that water droplet effect without blowing out the water. So yeah, there's a good amount of recovery that is available on the K3 Mark III, and especially paired with the 150-450, it's yeah, you can pull a lot out of your images. Is this another one? Yeah, it's another one. It wasn't as dark though, but you can still see there is a fair difference here. I mean, this is what, that's just black. It's hardly anything. So generally, when I'm editing, as I'm going through all my images and everything, generally what I'll do is I'll just bring in an image. I won't do a compare. I mean, I've already edited this one, but I'll usually zoom in at 50 just to see if pretty much at web upload level, if it actually would be acceptable. Now, if I am going to be using this for a larger format like printing or anything like that, then I will go all the way into 100 just to make sure that everything is actually sharp to a certain degree in regards to like what I actually want to focus on. See, I was aiming straight for the head here, and I was hoping that there'd be more water droplets coming down. There weren't too many though, unfortunately. I just figured that there would be a bit more, but I did get this kind of void here. Okay, let me just. Okay. Difference in the dynamic range between the low and higher. Yeah, there is a difference. What I found is the K3 Mark III at base ISO of 100, the dynamic range is absolutely insane. You can literally pull highlights all the way down. I did actually do a video comparing the K3 and the K3 Mark III. It was the last one of those comparisons that I did. And yeah, it was the dynamic range and mixed lighting video that I did. I was able to actually use an LED panel where you have individual LED lights, and it was completely and utterly blown out. Both cameras were set at the exact same settings, and I was able to recover all those blown out highlights until you could see each individual LED of that light panel on the K3 Mark III at ISO 100. ISO 200 couldn't do it, but ISO 100, you can actually recover an insane amount of highlights. I was shocked. I was not expecting that. The K3 Mark I, no. The middle was completely blown out. The edges were okay on the LED lights, but the middle was completely and utterly blown out. But the K3 Mark III recovered all of it, and which was a shock because, as most of us know, recovering highlights is the hardest thing that you can do. Because once they're blown out, they're blown out. At least that's what the consensus is. So that was a very surprising thing for myself. And I've done other shots at various ISOs, high ISOs, and I've still been able to recover shadows with absolutely no issues. So it seems that base ISO on the K3 Mark III, if you want to maintain highlights, shoot at base ISO 100, and then even if you do slightly blow out the highlights, you can actually recover them. But for shadow recovery, it doesn't seem to make any difference what ISO you're actually shooting at. It does a phenomenal job on the shadow side of things across all the ISOs. Did I try the K3 with DxO and Deep Prime? No, I haven't. I haven't tried the Deep Prime yet. I've done. Oh, which one is it? I did just the standard Prime, and where did they move it to? Is this here? Sharpness? No, where did they move it to? Okay, oh, there it is. Yeah, I've tried just the Prime and the high quality. I haven't actually needed to use the Deep Prime, to be honest. I just haven't shot anything that was that noisy for me to really want to actually try doing that. I know I will end up getting there in regards to actually using the Deep Prime at some point. Whether it's me just shooting my own stuff or if it's myself just doing more testing. I will end up getting there. I will. I only use it if I absolutely have to, though. I don't generally just rely on the fact that it just has Deep Prime, so I have to use it. I use things for what I need them for. I thought I just heard my dog coming down the stairs, but nope. Okay, so here's another example of being able to recover, from an underexposed image. And okay, so this was another ISO 100 shot. So yeah, I mean, it does do a pretty good job. Just being able to recover all that. I thought I shot these at, no, well, it was pretty bright actually. So yeah, I guess I didn't actually need to shoot at a higher ISO. Okay, how about this one? Oh, ooh, ISO 140. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so again, this is severely underexposed. It's pretty silhouetted. He's just water skiing, right? Let me turn off the comparison. Woohoo, look at me, guys. Look at me go. Woo! Okay, anyway. What else? I think it's another part of that sequence. Yeah. What is the before on this one? Okay. Yeah, same settings, 1/2000th of a second, ISO 140, f5.6 at 450. Man, that's a lot of water. But see, like even recovering all this, there's still a ton of detail. Every single one of these little droplets, all the micro contrast to pick up all that, it's pretty remarkable. Okay, let's see what came in now. There's any issues with the 1650 PLM out of the box? Actually, that's a good question. I can't remember. I think I had started doing adjustments. I believe, if I remember correctly, I think I ended up having to have it set at, I believe it was +3 for it to be tack sharp. It's upstairs in another room, locked away in the bag. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I had to adjust it to +3 for it to be completely and utterly razor sharp. Initially out of the box, at first it seemed okay at the wide end at 16, only because the depth of field when it's wide, I mean almost everything's in focus, right? So I didn't notice it at first, but then as I started playing around with it and testing different focus distances and stuff, I noticed that it didn't seem to be very consistent. So then I actually went through methodically and checked out live view and then compared that to optical viewfinder, and then I would manually focus and then I would check again. And so if I do remember correctly, I believe it was +3 that I needed on my K3 Mark III. And that's actually a very good question. I'm glad you brought that up. I completely and utterly forgot about that. What else? Come on, peeps. I'm gonna be on for another 10 minutes because I've got an early morning appointment that I have to get to. That's one thing that's terrible about having to work evenings. Let's see what else is in here. Okay. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, this one is no good. No good. Too blurred here. Yeah, that was, I think at that point, was that the end of this sequence? Yeah. So I was pretty much done with shooting the sequence, and I think I actually had moved the camera as I was finishing up. Yeah, so this would be a no-go. Big X right there. Okay, and then what's this one? Yeah, this one. Yeah, I missed this one too. I think it was getting these droplets. Yeah, it looks like it. He was picking up. Yeah, I was picking up the water just in front instead of actually nailing the goose. But just like anything else, I mean, it's not going to be 1,000,000,000% perfect. But man, that water looks good. Oh, no problem. No problem, Shane. Honestly, I mean, the 1650 is that lens, man, wow. That lens is sharp. It's big, it's heavy, the focal length is great. It's silent, it focuses lightning quick. And but the one thing is, I mean, the out of focus area, the way the starbursts actually look on that lens, and just the micro contrast, the close focusing distance. I mean, that lens it's beautiful as a general purpose, walk around lens, and especially for myself on the K3 III, just the fact that it's the right focal length options or right focal lengths in the lens from 16 to 50 millimeter for actually doing video with continuous autofocus in video, right? So yeah, I mean, for me, it is the perfect lens. Yeah, I don't know. Like 16 now I have to make a decision about my 18-135 if I would even use that anymore, or yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe on my K3 Mark 1 I may still use that one. I don't know. I have some decisions to make now that I have these other lenses, because some of it's redundant. I'm pretty sure some of the other lenses I'm just not going to use at all, but I may hold on to them just in case, because you never know. One day I may drop one of the lenses and I'll need a backup lens. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But yeah, the 1650 is that lens. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it's about time they came out with something like that. They should just PLM everything. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, wow, that's a lot of water, man. It's funny because geese and all geese and ducks and all that, they always seem to crash land whenever they land. It's bizarre, but they always stay afloat. You never see them flip over or anything. Oh, I don't remember this one. What was this? Oh, right. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, that was coming into land. Yeah, this was so strongly backlit. Oh, man, this was crazy. So strongly backlit. Yes, I was shooting in TAV mode. I usually, to be honest, I usually do shoot in TAV mode unless I know for sure that the lighting is not going to be changing. Just because the camera can change, the camera can change settings faster than I can, but I like to dial in whatever the aperture is that I'm going to use and whatever my shutter speed is. I don't want the camera changing those. I'd rather have the ISO go up and down instead of any of the other parameters. Oh yeah, water droplets down here too. That's a very good question. Which focus was I using? I think was I using zone for these ones? I'm trying to remember if I was using zone. No, I wasn't. Right. Okay. Yeah, I was using select medium, I believe. Select medium? No, select large is actually what I was using. I remember now. Yeah, so basically it would have covered about from here to here. I think give or take, somewhere around there. It would have covered like that square area. Generally speaking, when I'm out, unless I'm just playing with things or I know that it's going to be something that's fairly close, I won't actually use the zone or the full auto. I prefer to just use the select expanded modes, just so that way I can actually dial in. I keep forgetting to change this thing over. Just so I can actually dial in that center focus point, and then just have the camera track from that moment on. It's just what I'm familiar with in regards to the K3 Mark 1 and my previous camera, the K30. Well, same with my K200D when I had that. But once in a while I have used the zone. The full auto, I personally just find that it gets distracted too easily when there's other things moving. for example, the water here, because I did actually try the full auto, and that's why I had turned it off. I found that it kept picking up all the ripples of water. Anything that's moving is what it seems that it always wants to try to pick up. I mean, it would randomly pick something up here, pick something down here, but it wouldn't actually pick the subject that I wanted that was also moving. Hey, Aaron. Ah, my Tokyo buddy. All right, finally. Yeah, I'm only going to be on for 4 more minutes, though. But you did make it. You did make it. And now that I know that there's actually people that are up at this time, I'll do some more a little earlier in the evening. Just just because, why not, right? So how's the weather in Tokyo, Aaron? Oh yeah, this was crazy underexposed. Like there's nothing here. There's no detail at all. Nothing. It's complete silhouette. That's crazy. And then you can actually pull out. Yeah, it's ISO 100 again. Oh man, I'm okay. I must have been trying to change something and didn't hit another button because 1/8,000th of a second. Why on earth would I have been there? Why would I have been at f9.5? That's ridiculous. Yeah, I must have been trying to change a setting and hit the wrong thing and ended up changing everything else. Whoops, it happens. But at the same time, you actually have some detail along here. You can actually see some of the color. It's a bit hazy, but I mean, look at the glare coming off the water, right? So, environmental things, which I could fix. Oh, sweet, Ofer. That's awesome. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This is way underexposed. Like, completely. Oh, man, Tokyo's cold, eh? Raining? Yeah, we had a little bit of rain earlier today here in Ontario, but then shortly after it started raining, it started snowing again. Oh, Ofer, the K3 is a big leap over the K3, but it's a ton of camera, and you really need to take your time, learning it and figuring out all the ins and outs and everything. Oh man, 5 p.m. Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is today here. What day is it today? Oh, it's Wednesday at 2:58 in the morning. So, hey, at least we're on the same day, right? Right? Yeah, so again, looking at these two images, I mean, this is a pretty big difference, and being able to pull all this detail out that's missing here, because this is just black, right? I mean, there's a tad bit of color here, but overall it's just black. There's nothing. So I mean, there's a lot of detail that can actually be pulled out on the K3 Mark III. Yeah, I think this is another one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, I was tracking this guy, but I misjudged when he hit the water. So it is slightly off. Very, very slightly. But I think... see if I dial that. No, it's still off. Sometimes you can actually get away with just doing that, but oh, whoops, not that one. This one. Yeah, it's just slightly off. You can see it in the beak here. But that was just a matter of, my panning was still moving in regards to how quick it was initially hitting the water, and then obviously when it hit the water, it just slowed right down. But I didn't, so. But again, I mean, the amount of detail. I mean, the water is just wow. All right, so it looks like this experiment actually worked. I I am using DxO Photolab 5, the latest version. Let's see what well, let's play with some presets quickly because I've got to get to bed. Let's see what happens if I add that to Oh, I did not mean to do that. No, go back. Escape. Escape. There we go. Okay, don't want to compare. Okay, I just want the DNG. Alright, so let's see what presets they have here. And if any of you guys use DxO, do any of you actually have the Nick collection in regards to being able to use the U point selection so you can pinpoint exactly what sections you want to actually change and leave the others alone? Because the one thing with DxO is that if you notice, it doesn't have layers. There's no layers. It's not like Photoshop or anything like that. So what they have is this handy guy, which is plug-in. There's an HDR thing. There's sharpeners. Viveza, I don't even remember. I think that's a film simulator, I believe. No, Analog Effects, I think, is the film simulator. Define. Oh, let's find out what Define is. I don't even remember. Let's do this quick, and then I gotta bounce. Gotta bounce. And why does it seem like this is not low? Oh no, it's loading. And then the nice thing about this is you can actually work on the raw, and then it'll export the raw into the DxO program. You work on it in the DxO program, and then it will re-import it back to, or sorry, the DxO will throw it over to the Nick collection, and then from the Nick collection, it'll throw it back to DxO as a TIFF file, which you can then continue to work on. So Define 2. Oh, okay, this is their noise reduction tool. Well, don't need that because DxO's is better. Actually, Aaron, you know what? Let me do that. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna close this because don't need that right now. I'm gonna be bouncing anyway. Okay. I think DxO actually right now, I think they're having a sale. Pretty sure they're... What do you mean it can't be reached? What? Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, that's better. Okay, yeah, so why did that not work before? Okay, so I think that's for the Elite. So 219 for the Elite. But the thing with that is it's a one-time payment. It's not a subscription. And honestly, in regards to raw processing, I don't think you can get any better. It's amazing. That's all I gotta say about that. Yeah. So this is the DxO Nick collection thing, like how it works. You just pick certain things, it'll automatically recognize things, and then you just set whatever you want to change, exposure, and then you can just keep that same exposure and just click on everything, and boom, changes. Like, it's amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so my thoughts on Digital Camera Utility 5. Honestly, I hate it. I'll be straight up. I cannot stand Digital Utility 5. I really the interface I'm not crazy about, and especially with the K3 Mark III, I really do not like what it does to the images, especially with the extremely heavy-handed noise reduction. I've loaded some photos into it, and actually pretty much right away when after I've loaded the photos, I just take a look and I can see they're already turning into like water paint colors or watercolor paintings or oil paintings or whatever. And so then I have to go and turn all the sliders off and everything because it's just applying this insane amount of heavy-handed noise reduction when it's absolutely not needed at all. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Digital Utility 5 at all. I think the only time I probably would use it is for pixel shift images. But other than that, I don't use it. I do have it, but it's not the greatest item out there. I mean, actually, the only other thing that I do find interesting with it, which actually is very useful, I almost totally forgot, is the fact that you can use the custom image settings from the camera. You can actually test those out in Digital Camera Utility 5. So you can just shoot a straight JPEG, upload it, or load it, whatever, import it. There we go. Tired. Import it, and then you can actually go through all the different custom image settings in the program instead of going through it on the camera itself. So you can actually see on a bigger screen exactly what those things would do. And then if there is a specific style that you like, you can actually just look at what you've done in the program and then put that in on the camera. So you would have an exact replica of the specific style for JPEG shooting that you like. So that is one good thing for DCU 5. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've heard, Photoshop Express is good, just for quick edits and things like that. I mean, Adobe does make great software. I just could never really get used to their workflow. It's just my own personal thing. But hey, I'm just different. So once I discovered DxO, I was hooked. And then I already had the Nick collection, so I was playing around with that. And then, then DxO bought the Nick collection. The Nick collection that I'm using is actually from when Google owned them, but it still integrates well with DxO. But anyways, guys, okay, I should get going. I've got a long day tomorrow. I got to be up in the morning. Got a meeting with a contractor and all kinds of fun stuff. But anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. I'm like looking at my screen and that's not where the camera is. It's right there. Anyways, thanks guys for tuning in, and I'm glad this worked out. So yeah, I will be doing some more late night lives and just playing around with editing and stuff, while I answer your questions and everything, just laid back, chill, that kind of thing. But wherever you guys are, be safe, take care of yourselves, and catch you next time. Well, that's a very good, I just realized something. How do I stop this? Okay, there it is. Okay.